Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Why the hell is the SEC vs. Ripple lawsuit taking so damn long? We'd love for it all to be over. Whether it's a settlement, full adjudication, we would just want this whole damn thing behind us. Because it's a bunch of nonsense and hoo-ha, if you ask me. Well, attorney James Filan, who is a member of the XRP community, in comments just a little bit earlier today, explained why we're having to wait so damn long. So I want to share that along with some other comments and thoughts. I got a comment from attorney John Deaton also, and there was a community question about whether or not the SEC might be required to pay for Ripple's legal expenses if this doesn't go so well for them. And to this point, it's, to be clear, pre-trial stuff doesn't look like it's going so well for the SEC. And, and I want to mention this too. For those of you that stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to share with you a picture of, of an SEC asshat. And it's drawn, it's a picture that was drawn by an XRP community member. There's a picture of an SEC asshat, and does anybody else, when you're trying to say one or the other, say asset or asshat? Can you even tell them what they can do? Two different words. Asset, A-S-S-E-T, and then ass space hat. I don't know. They sound the same. Look, before we go any further, I want to be clear that I do not have a legal, financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos all up on the internets because it's a fun hobby. Now, here was an article from a couple weeks ago. This is from Finance Feeds. SEC versus Ripple, when will the lawsuit end? And so this is a topic that we've been talking about over a fair bit, to be honest, over the last half a year, but at this point you might be like, okay, especially given that there has been a pushback of 60 days for the discovery process, where's that put us, and why haven't we heard stuff from the judges working the case? That'd be Judge Netburn and Judge Torres. And so I do want to make sure that we're all caught up, because as far as the 60-day time frame pushback, it's regrettable, but not necessarily the end of the world. And still, you can still have a settlement potentially sooner than later. And so I wanted to share, before I get into James Filan's comments, I want to make sure that you are aware of Jeremy Hogan's perspective, another attorney within the XRP community, who shared the following. The judge pushing discovery back 60 days changes the time frames. And so obviously no settlement happened in May, and I truly believe that new chairman Gary Gensler is not going to get involved. And so I'm going to pause here to make sure that you know what we're talking about here. Gary Gensler, of course, the new SEC chair, back in May, Jeremy Hogan had posited that if Gary Gensler wanted to change the way that the SEC is approaching crypto markets, potentially you would have seen a settlement then, but if you don't see it in May, Jeremy said, look, his opinion is that Gary Gensler has fully adopted the SEC stance against Ripple. And so not only is that the case, again, now we've got this 60-day pushback because the SEC, being a bunch of baby-back biatchas, they have complained to the court that they need more time, and then they blamed... This is rich too. They blamed Ripple as the reason that they needed more time to get their act together. But it seems like more likely than not, when there's a request like this for more time, it seems more likely than not, from what I've gathered from the attorneys that have shared their opinions about it, that typically you get approved. There'd have to be some real strong indications that something is someone's really seriously not acting in good faith, not needing the time in order for it to actually not get approved. That's the gist of what I got anyway. Anyway, Jeremy Hogan continues on. So I go back to my initial idea that no settlement will happen until the close of discovery. Could it settle before then? Yes. I just don't think it's likely. So any settlement is likely to be after at least the close of fact discovery, and that is now early September, and even more likely to be after October 16th. And if it doesn't settle, then I believe the two main issues will be decided by Judge Torres at summary judgment. Looking at the summary judgment rule briefly, you can see that the motions for summary judgment must be filed within 30 days of the close of discovery. So that puts the parties competing motions for summary judgment due no later than 30 days after the close of all discovery, and that is November 16th for us. But then when you add in responses and responses to responses, and then maybe Sir replies, probably not, but you never know, I don't see the case being decided at summary judgment until early 2022, maybe January. And so look, if this actually is not going to be settled, you're looking at early next year. That's what Jeremy Hogan had shared with us. My gosh, I hope it doesn't go that long. I mean, maybe the bull market's still going, but it would be kind of nice to have this all wrapped up. And look, not that I think that XRP won't go on a bull run without this thing being wrapped up. I actually think that XRP is going to run no matter what, because people, when they're investing, it's very clear that this is an immature market, and money just flows through every altcoin that exists, basically. And I don't see people sufficiently caring about fundamentals. And also keep in mind that most trading, it is happening outside of the United States anyway. Like somewhere in the neighborhood of, I believe, 90% of XRP global trading, it's outside of the United States. Those people are going to keep speculating. And even in the United States, even though most exchanges have halted the trading of XRP, it is still being traded here. And I think that, the few exchanges that are still offering it, they're getting a lot more volume now. And so now you're into what James Filan had to say just a little bit earlier today, because XRP Army News 1 on Twitter wrote the following. He said, "To the attorneys in our XRP community, what the holy heck is taking so long? What exactly is Judge Netburn, I guess, doing? Seems like it's been a while since she decided anything." And there are a couple things that we're waiting here on as far as Judge Netburn. Well, actually, it's not even just that. Actually, the one that I'm most curious about, to be honest with you, and I believe it's Judge Torres that's going to get at this one, but whether or not John Deaton is going to be allowed to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case on behalf of over 17,000 XRP holders. Now, that one, I'm hoping the answer is yes. I'm strongly hoping the answer is yes. But I don't know when we're going to find that out. I was kind of hoping we would have by now. And then beyond that, you're looking at the question of whether or not former SEC Director William Hinman is actually going to end up having to answer questions under oath, which is what Ripple is demanding happen. And it could come to pass. In fact, even Jeremy Hogan, he had said publicly that more likely than not, he actually thinks it will happen. So we'll see here. But James K. Filan, he saw this tweet and he was tagged in it along with others. And so he shared the following insight. This is not the only case Judges Torres and Netburn have to work on. Statistics show that Judge Torres has almost 700 cases pending at any given time. Many of those are civil cases where there will be lots of motion practice, as in this case. Judge Torres also has many criminal cases, and under the Constitution, those take precedence. If I could just pause already. 700 cases? Look, like I said, I don't have a legal background, so I don't know what's normal. I don't know what judges, at that level have to put up with. But damn, 700 cases sounds insane. You start seeing that level of cases, and you can kind of figure out why the legal system, in order for it to actually function, the vast majority of these cases end up in settlement. And so the statistic that I'm recalling is that most of the legal actions, in fact, my understanding is 95% of legal actions the SEC brings actually end up in settlement. 95% end up in settlement. So is the case with Ripple, are we going to see full adjudication? Is it going to be actually just the 5%? I'd kind of be surprised. I mean, we'll have a much better idea once discovery is complete, because that's when the SEC is really going to know what they're working with and be like, oh yeah, this is not looking so hot for us. And so if the SEC thinks that what they're working with ain't so hot for them, that's when they're going to capitulate and come to Ripple and be willing to settle with more reasonable terms than what was previously offered, no doubt here. Anyway, James Filan continues, though. There are motions, hearings, trials, and sentencings in all of those cases, too. There is a backlog of all cases because the courts have been closed on and off for the past year. Finally, these judges work their asses off. You saw that when Judge Netburn issued a ruling on the Sunday before Memorial Day. I'm sure they are both trying hard to get things done right and quickly, but done right comes before done quickly. We all have to have some patience. And so that was some fascinating insight, which I wanted to share with you. So it's all going to happen. We'll get the answers to all of these questions at some point. But in the meantime, yes, we will have to be patient. That's just That's what it is to be in the XRP community, frankly. I've been patient in every aspect of holding my XRP and seeing developments for over 3.5 years, damn it. But that's okay. I actually don't mind it too much. And then James K. Filan in a separate tweet wrote this. I think the only thing pending before Judge Netburn is the decision on the Hinman deposition, and it's not fully briefed yet. Someone once described this process to me as the same as waiting for a jury verdict to come back 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Waiting sucks. Yeah, so we'll see that. Those are the two most interesting things that are outstanding. And then there was this from John Deaton, another, XRP community member, and he is the attorney seeking to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case, and he wrote the following. People need to take a minute, read the tweet below, and what Crypto Eddie is quoting. And it's my fellow XRP YouTuber, Crypto Eddie. And then John wrote, it says, all you need to know about the utility of XRP. If you need to move fiat or Bitcoin, XRP is the utility token of choice. And so this is important and stood out to me because John Deaton has been arguing quite fervently that XRP does have utility, and the SEC is claiming that it does not. It's claiming, the SEC is actually claiming that there is not utility within XRP, which is so rich to me because I'm actually an informed individual, and I know that XRP is one of the only cryptocurrencies out of over 8,000 in existence that actually is used for anything. It's used in enterprise-grade software today, via Ripple, but that's just one use case. There are all sorts of other ones I've been highlighting on this channel for years. And so John Deaton's comments themselves were part of a retweet of what Crypto Eddie shared, which was the following, and you guys are going to like this. Crypto Eddie wrote, Nice Hash, a Slovenian mining pool launched in 2014, connecting miners with buyers of hashing power in a share economy approach, is converting Bitcoin into XRP to move it to exchanges. This will only increase. And so you can think about the transaction fees with Bitcoin and how slow it is. And so instead, they're converting Bitcoin into XRP to move it to exchanges and then do what they want to do. And so you can see here's a tweet, and that actually was a retweet also of something from an account named Short the FOMO, who wrote, here is an interesting one. Then there's a link. At nice hash mining, so that's Nice Hash, that's cited there by Crypto Eddie. Here you can see miners converting the Bitcoin into XRP and moving it to another exchange in 3 seconds. And here's the screen grab that was shared right there. It's amazing what you can do when you have a technologically sufficient cryptocurrency. Utility can actually take hold. Well, how about that? And then there was this from Bobby Cott, who tagged me along with attorney Jeremy Hogan. And Jeremy Hogan, at least at the time I'm recording this, has not responded, but I'll share with you my thoughts. But here's the question from Bobby Cott. On the subject of costs, are the SEC liable for Ripple costs if they lose in court? Or do they get a free pass because they're a government body? Would it be something that would be agreed in any pre-litigation settlement? If they could be liable, is there no department that overlooks these things since it's taxpayers' money? Well, yeah, and so first of all, the fact that this is taxpayers' money, yeah, that's the thing that's been extra gross to me. And I understand they're part of the government. Where else are they getting the money, right? Well, they print it too, but that's tantamount to a tax as far as I'm concerned. And so, yes, it's like, especially if you're an XRP investor, so you get kind of beat down because the SEC filed these ridiculous claims against Ripple. So if you're an XRP holder, you already got beat down when the price of XRP plummeted. And then on top of that, it's taxpayer funded, so you're paying for that too. Thank you, SEC, for protecting us. Now, on the idea of whether or not the SEC would be liable for Ripple costs if they lose in court, my understanding, again, no legal background here, but I have seen this question asked before, and if I'm not mistaken, and I think I'm not, Jeremy Hogan has answered this publicly in the past, and the answer is no. The SEC will not be liable for any of this. Now, of course, if I'm actually misspeaking and I'm way misremembering, I really don't think I am, but if I happen to be, hopefully Jeremy Hogan can just jump in and correct the record there. But my understanding, pulling from memory here, is that no, unfortunately, Ripple's going to have to eat this. And so that's part of the reason it's that much harder for the startup crypto firms to actually go after the SEC. Because a lot of firms understandably don't have the fortitude, but even if they did, most firms don't have the war chest necessary to take on the SEC, which is part of the United States federal government. It's like, good luck, right? And then there is this from Precarious Prepper. This is the part where if you want to see, you're You should just look at your screen here. Here we go. This is a picture of an SEC asshat. I don't think that I want to even try and describe what's on the screen right now. Just use your human eyeballs if you want to see what I'm talking about. I will say that this particular SEC asshat looks like might need a little trim around here where I'm circling. What do you guys think? We've got some skilled artists in the XRP community. So anyway, thank you very much, Precarious Prepper. That's how you end a Moon Lambo video. Thank you for checking out this latest hot jam, but I will wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.